Good morning, beautiful souls. I just had this incredible dream last night. I want to share. There's so much in it. There's downloads for us all. Are you getting them? Are you getting levels of awareness in your dreams where they feel really real and you remember them? Are you getting messages too? Disclaimer before we start. I'm a mama in her humanness. I just wanted to say that I'll forget these downloads too unless I write them down and truly remember them. When I'm in my busy life, I am forgetful. I forgot to take my daughter's lunch to school yesterday, forgot to put the rubbish out this morning. So when I'm in tune and when I do a reading, those messages that come in blow my mind too. I was laughing with a client on Friday. She knows me well. My clients know me well. It's like, oh, I'll take that on board. Isn't this good? Oh, this is a bit of good information for us all. So when you're connected to spirit, those downloads come through. Sure, they use my life experience to show me. That's how they show me so I can communicate it. So you have those abilities too. Everything you've been through in your life helps others. So I just wanted to share that you have these intuitive gifts too. Okay, also a second disclaimer that Spirit in this dream put me in this situation that I could experience what I'm going to talk about. Disclaimer, I haven't done it to this extreme in real life. It talks about me projecting onto someone and you'll hear it soon, but I just wanted to just disclaimer, it was using me to feel it. So I haven't done this in real life. Maybe parts of it, because we talk about codependency. Sure, because we're human, right? We're all just learning and upgrading, which is, I feel this is messages for us all, hence sharing them. So now that I've got all that out of the way, I'll tell you what is in it, the messages, and then I'll tell the story. So you'll be able to link all these messages that came through the downloads with the story in the dream. Okay, so first one, how codependency in relationships can make us physically unwell. Came through really loud and clear. How, when we project onto others, that we feel fully justified in doing so. We can't see the other person's point of view. We have blinders on. We can't see outside of what's inside of us that we are projecting onto another human. Why we chase addiction when we're really after that beautiful feeling of oneness and love from the divine. So we're chasing that high for that. And you'll see that feeling when I try and put it into words at the end. Why we dim our light when someone projects onto us. When we might be really inspiring others and on a really good path, and then someone projects onto us and we dim that light in us that could have been so beneficial for humanity, like the girl I did this to in the dream. And how as codependent woman, I've chosen another woman, men have their part, but this is just this story of the dream. How as codependent women in relationships, when we're in that projecting mindset, how our men shut down and then we blame them from being withdrawn, how we do that to them. And the divine showing me how our actions fully impact someone else, how they truly feel and what we've put them through when we take those blinders off. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so I was in this relationship with a man. Now these are made up characters, they don't exist. There was a story in the dream. I don't know who they are. It could have been another lifetime. Who knows? But I was in a relationship with a man and we weren't like totally physically unwell, but we weren't looking after ourselves the best. And you could see that both of us, we were just stuck we just didn't have a sparkle about us. We were numb and going through the motions in life. We weren't making the best choices diet-wise. We weren't exercising. We had a child. I have a daughter, but we both had a child together, and we were busy in the life of parenthood and juggling that. We weren't squabbling. We weren't, at each other's throats. It wasn't a toxic relationships, but we were just could seem numbed off to life, going through the motions, and not in our best shape of our lives. I'm not saying that we were hugely overweight, but you could tell we weren't making the best choices health-wise. It was very clear. And then what happened in this dream, there was this girl that was a friend of mine. Now, in the dream, she was a coach, and she was really into health and fitness, and she was really good at inspiring others, and she was a very strong personality. This is just, I could tell this too, because I knew her. She was my friend and I knew her well. She was someone that was feisty too. She would stand up for herself, and she'd take no nonsense, but she was loyal as the day is long. So she was my friend. So what happened in the dream was that my partner looked at her and was really looking at her and admiring her shape, because she looked after herself and she was inspiring other people to do the same. And in my mind, I thought that I wasn't enough. So I got really jealous and really defensive, but it was fully justified in my mind. So I had all this rage against her for flirting with my partner, for leading him on, and I didn't blame him. I fully blamed her. She did nothing wrong, by the way. And I was so angry. And because she liked me as a person, she didn't stand up to me at all. She took it. She took all this abuse that I was hurling at her in the dream. And I was just like, you're such a flirt, you're doing it on purpose. All of this, which was just made up in my head. I was really cruel. And then I made up some other stuff that seemed justified. That was not true. It was just random that I accused her of, and it was silly, so stupid. And then I tried to make my partner see what she'd been doing, and I tried to get him to open his eyes, and he obviously thought, oh, she's just been mean. This girl's done nothing wrong. So in turn, he shut down. And now we had a wee girl together, and he chose not to stand up to me because it would just be harder in parenting. Because I wasn't necessarily bickering with him and telling him off or blaming him. I was blaming her. And because I was jealous, I was just trying to get him to not look at her that way. So totally random behavior and totally projection and making things up. So he just shut down completely. And this girl, because of what I said to her, she just dimmed her light, and she was on this path of really aspiring others to help them, and it took the wind out of her. And someone who normally would stand up for herself and not put up with any of that rubbish, because we were friends, she took it. And as it was playing out, I felt the anger, and I just felt justified in doing it. And then there was this moment where I was alone, and I connected with this really warm presence. And this warm presence came through to me, and it came through in a divine form, but it didn't touch me. It was just there looking at me in the dream, and it was very kind, and I could tell it was very loving. And this presence, it was like an angelic presence, had their hands just near me, not touching me. And this love came through my body, and it was a feeling of complete wholeness. It was a feeling of just being wrapped in the warmth of love. It's like something I haven't experienced before. It was like all parts of me were whole, and I just was love, and everything around me was love. And in that moment, I wasn't condemning myself, but I saw myself in my humanness, where I was feeling less than and just trying to make myself feel better with that projection that I was doing. And in that moment, I forgave myself for it and realized that my actions, I felt on every level of what I'd done to this girl, and I really felt it as if it was done to me, and I was showing how my actions affected her, and I felt nothing but love for us both because of me and my woundedness, what I had done. And I could sense it, and I was able to make it right when after my experience with this person, and explain it to her, and she was wonderful. She forgave me, and I was trying to help her to connect with this light. So the message here, there's so much in this. And then that feeling I got with that one connectedness with the divine was like that feeling if you're ever chasing that feeling of the first drink, when you're chasing that hit from chocolate or whatever you're eating, just trying to fill yourself up. It is nothing to compare to that beautiful oneness when you come back to you that we were ultimately born with. And then life teaches us fear. We doubt ourselves. And because we feel that, and we're always looking to feel whole again, we project onto other people. We use substances outside of ourselves to try and make us feel whole. When really, it's coming back to home, how we're all meant to feel. I think in this lifetime, when we came here, all experiences that we're having are teaching us just to come back to that. Yeah? So it made me realize why projection happens, why we do it, and how we're justified in it, even though it makes no sense to why we're doing it. And has your light ever been dim because someone's done this to you without even realizing it, and they can justify it, and then you take it on board? Yeah? Or have you done this on a slight level, or both? Probably in our humanness, we've done both, right? We've had it done to us, and we've done it on more subtle levels. So I hope these messages help someone. And that reason why we make healthy choices, we're doing it to not get attention from someone else. We're doing it so we feel whole, that we're coming back to us, that we love our body. You know, whatever shape, size, whatever. We just love, no matter where we are on a journey, that we're just coming back to that. We're not wanting to be, that level of doing it for addicted to exercise, or we're doing it because we're beating ourselves up. We're doing it because we love. We're choosing that to feel whole. That's been the biggest journey for me of late on my whole foods way of eating. I'm not going to call it a diet because it's not. So those whole foods that love us and nourish us. So that's been my journey. So I think that's maybe why I've been showing that a little bit more insight, how it affects different areas of our lives. Oh, another wee download's coming through too. When we really work on what we eat and nourish ourselves, it affects all the different other areas of our lives. So when we focus on that first and look after that, it really helps in our relationships, how we inspire others, and that's less projecting onto others because we're feeling whole from the inside. So yeah, there was a lot in that, and it's been a bit of a long video, so I'm going to stop talking now. But I'm just sending you all so much light and so much love. And if you'd love to book a reading so we can get some downloads for you, I'd love to be of service. All right, wishing you a happy day. Bye for now.